Do you struggle to get crispy lawn edges? Is this going to be the tool that's going to help you out? Now this is new. I know you probably think you've seen it before. RYOBI do have an 18-volt edger. This is the new HP version. It's got a brushless motor. They claim that brushless motor has 40% more power, which is awesome, as well as a 60% increase in RPM, which should make getting through those heavier edges a little easier. Now this is still a DIY tool. Don't be going and buying this as a lawn contractor expecting to get through days and days of work with this thing, but based just on the specifications alone, I haven't tried it yet. It does seem a pretty big improvement. Now this HP version of the edger is a $299 skin only, so you'll either need to use your current ONE+ RYOBI batteries or buy a battery and charger if you haven't got any. It's got a smaller blade than the other model, 204mm as opposed to 220mm on the older model. I'm not 100% sure what the thinking on that is. We will see how it works, but I will compare them side by side. It's got a much larger wheel than the original. Height adjustment is very simple on this model. Simply unwind that spindle, move it up or down, tighten it back up. So this new version is $100 more than the other version, but just looking at it side by side, you can see the value there. Now I know this thing will excel in maintenance situations where you're just maintaining that nice crispy groove in your lawn edges. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes on some tougher stuff. Here's the two models side by side. There's quite a few differences there. At first glance you might not notice, but when you see them side by side, there are quite a few differences. As a lawn enthusiast, I've got to say right away, I would definitely be leaning towards this one just on design alone for the extra $100. I can see the value there. If the value's there for you, that's really up to you. There's not a lot of adjustability in the D handle. There is a wing nut here that you can loosen and make it go left or right, but it doesn't go forward or back. Feels really solid. I like the look of it. Let's go and give it a try. So we're going to start out with something reasonably easy. This is actually, in my opinion, a really good grass to use a blade edger on. Very easy to tear it and rip into it if you're not great with the trimmer line. So this is Tiff Tough Cooch. These are relatively maintained, so we're not taking a ton off here, but I mean, that's what you really want to be trying to achieve anyway. But yeah, we'll start out a light test, some Tiff Tough Cooch. Hopefully I've got the height right. Oh, okay, so I was a little bit low. Gone a little chunky there, but it got through it super easy. There we go. Okay, now I can definitely feel the extra power. That's a super result there. Again, not a lot of grass off, as I said, but I was getting into the dirt there and it wasn't struggling at all. Look how razor sharp that is. I don't care how good you are with a line trimmer, I definitely can't get as crispy as that. So that gives you there a better idea of what it's done. Gone from that to nice and crispy, very defined. To get the best results, if you haven't used one of these things before, use this guide wheel on the path. That'll get you a nice even surface to run along and a nice crispy edge. We've got some buffalo here. Again, not wildly overgrown because these are maintained regularly, but this will crisp this up really nicely, I believe. Blow that away, clean it up. Look at that, perfect result again. This side's quite built up, so it can tax the machine a little bit more sometimes, or it has taxed the other machine a little bit more. Again, still maintenance stuff, but you can be cutting through a bit of a thatch there, which can be a little bit harder for it. This little bit here where the wheel hooks on, when it's thick like this, it can kind of get caught up in that. I'm not sure what the go there is, but I feel that needs to be much shorter, that bit there. Here's a different test. There's no hard surface to run along here. I've kind of got to run it along the grassed area, which means I'm going to hold it a different way. Let's see how it goes with the Sergrange Zoysia. Definitely a harder test for a blade edger because, as I said, there's no concrete to run along and keep it nice and still. The Sergrange is quite a thick grass, so got through that, no dramas at all. So I've worked out pretty quickly it does the maintenance stuff very easily. 100% would recommend for that sort of situation. Let's go try it on some heavier stuff though and see how it's going to be at setting an edge. I will preface it by saying this is a DIY tool. It's not like a commercial edger. So expecting it to do really, really heavy stuff may be a bit of a stretch, but we're going to see how it goes anyway. Just before I try it in something really heavy, I've got some Eureka Kikuyu edges out the back that I've neglected for a bit, so we're going to see how it goes through the Eureka Kikuyu. Okay, so I did take this thing out to my mate Karthik's place. He had an edge across the road that was needing a little bit of attention. We gave it a go on that. Unfortunately, it was raining on and off that day, so didn't give it a massive flogging, but I'll show you what we did. I was hoping for some sort of door knocking, hey, can I do your edges sort of video, but Karthik told me there was a little bit of an overgrown edge here. We actually have tested a another edger here, another battery edger here, didn't we? But yeah. You don't think this will get through it? Like, we're talking about a domestic tool here, but I don't know. It'll get through that bit there. That paspalum there, that's what they sort of struggle with. Make the wheel a little higher so we've got more blade. Oh! Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, no, it's doing all right.
Not three bad. I got to say, having used the original one of these, this is definitely more powerful. Yeah, I mean, they advertise it as like 40% more powerful, but up here, which is really where you should when you're going this way, but what are you putting it there for? Oh. Oh! All right, that's pretty good, you gotta admit.
Yeah.
Whoa! Look at that. Tool of many uses. So overall, I think this thing performs really well for what it is. I think Karthik was a little harder to impress because he is a big fan of a multi-tool, which is probably a good option if you don't already have a line trimmer. But if you already have a line trimmer and you just want a blade edger, something like this, a standalone edger, at that price point and the performance, pretty attractive to me. Runtime wise, you're gonna get through any sort of standard block with a 4 amp hour battery easy. Obviously the thicker the edges are, the more it's going to work, but you're not going to have any dramas on a standard block with a 4 amp hour battery at all. So I really like this thing. I think if you're right into your lawns and you want crispy edges, it's going to be good for you. I am going to continue using it over the next few months to put some more time on it, and I'll probably make an update video in a few months' time to see how it's going. Anyway, that'll do for now. Plenty more coming up. We've got the Azedo 36 volt battery mower. That's sitting there. I've got to unbox that, give that a go at some stage. There's lots of stuff I've already got here that I still need to make videos on. So thanks for watching. See you next time.